Let us away. So we got TPUSA reveals identity of gunman who snuck into Charlie Kirk's fucking what was it? Memorial Arena and why he was there. Armed man claiming to be a law enforcement officer. Yes, he was impersonating a law enforcement officer, which is already a big no-no. At the site of the Charlie Kirk Memorial in Arizona was identified as Joshua Runkless by authorities. 42-year-old was carrying 2 guns. Oh, wow, he had 2 guns. Oh, I thought it was just 1 gun. No, he had 2. And knives when he was apprehended at the State Farm Stadium in Glendale on Friday, according to a probable cause statement filed in court that was obtained by Fox News. In a twist, Turning Point USA spokesperson Andrew Colvett later came out and said Runkless was doing advanced security for a known guest. Oh, so he was private security. They just didn't know. We do not believe this person was attempting anything nefarious, Colvett said. Nonetheless, Runkless has been charged with impersonating a law enforcement officer and carrying a weapon into a prohibited place. I mean, that's true. But yeah, he's not private, right? The fact that he said he was a law enforcement, yeah, that's why didn't he just say he's private security for someone, right? Because to say that you're law, right? Yeah, that's the issue. The fact that he said that, that's like really right. That basically raises alarms, right? It's like, why did you say that? Why didn't you just say you were a fucking private security? Why didn't you just go? I don't. What the fuck? Has been charged with impersonating a law enforcement officer and carrying a weapon into a prohibited place. Okay, he's a known person. He's affiliated to someone at the event. Didn't I guess make sure with everything was man fucking whoops, I guess. I don't know, man. At around 12:15 p.m. on Friday, an officer with the Arizona Department of Public Safety encountered Runkless, who claimed he was working with a security detail through Turning Point USA, according to the court document. When asked to identify himself, Runkless allegedly presented a badge with the Franklin County Sheriff's Office and an Idaho law enforcement identification card. Officers then asked Runkless if he was armed. Per the documents, he said yes and was turned away at the gate by personnel who told him he'd have to contact representatives with Turning Point USA if he wanted to be let in. Okay. Runkless detained. Yeah, roughly 2 p.m., Runkless was seen inside the stadium, according to the probable cause statement. It's unclear at this time how he gained access. He was then arrested and was found with a loaded pistol, a revolver, and several knives, police said. His law enforcement identification badge and ID card were found not to be active, and officials confirmed he was no longer employed by the Franklin County Sheriff's Office, according to police. Uh-oh. So basically, he's still he's carrying a badge that he used to work for this Franklin County Sheriff's Office, but he doesn't anymore, right? But why the fuck is he That's super suspicious. Anyways, Runkless was released on bond around 10 a.m. on Saturday. Arizona police told the Daily Mail his next court appearance is scheduled for Thursday. It comes as officials are tracking several threats of unknown credibility ahead of the high-profile event on Sunday, per ABC News. Kirk, 31, was shot dead. Wait, did I say this? ABC News? Yeah, sorry. I got sidetracked by this. Charlie Kirk. Apparently, that's Charlie Kirk's sister or something. I don't know. Kirk, 31, was shot dead at September 10th in front of crowds of students and supporters at Utah Valley University while on his American Comeback tour. Department of Homeland Security designated his memorial service Level 1 special event, highest possible rating. feature speakers such as President Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance. Well, I mean, it's because, yeah, there's a bunch of speakers and a bunch of high-profile people. And it's a big area, right? So, yeah. The service called Building a Legacy Remembering Charlie Kirk is due to begin at 11 a.m. local time, with doors open from 8 a.m. Guests are asked to don their Sunday best, wearing red, white, and blue for the United States. This event is first come, first served based on stadium capacity, according to the event's website. All guests will be screened with metal detectors upon entry and patted down as a last resort. Yeah, apparently there were so many people, yeah, that they had to get turned away. Those who do not consent will be denied entry, officials said. Alcohol, weapons, fireworks, drones, bags, and clothing deemed obscene or indecent are all among the long list of prohibited items. The stadium, home to the NFL Arizona Cardinals, has seated for 63,400 people and can expand to over 73,000 per larger events. Trump is said to have personally requested the 63,000 capacity home of the Arizona Cardinals to welcome mourners traveling from across the country. As of Friday, the full list of speakers, including Kirk's widow, Erica Kirk, Trump and Vance, White House Chief of Staff Susie Wiles, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Department of Health and Human Services Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Secretary of War Pete Hegseth, Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard, Donald Trump Jr., Tucker Carlson, White House Advisor Stephen Miller, and Sergio Gore. Christian singers such as Chris Tomlin, Brandon Lake, Phil Wickham, Kari Jobe, Karnas, and Cody Karnas are also set to perform at the service. Local law enforcement have said their preparations are on a level usually reserved for major sporting events like the Super Bowl. So I think they're just rehashing the same old shit that we saw yesterday. Glendale's police chief said his department is deploying every available resource, bolstered by reinforcements from neighboring jurisdictions. Bomb squad, yeah, we already know about this. Kirk is set to be laid to rest, Phoenix, Arizona. Kirk lived with his wife, 36, 2 children. Before his death, casket was flown from Utah to Arizona, abroad Air Force 2 on Thursday, accompanied by J.D. Vance, Second Lady Usha, and Kirk's widow, Erica. Kirk, and Usha Vance, sorry. The service is being organized by Turning Point USA, co-founded by Kirk when he was a teenager in 2012. His wife Erica took on the role of CEO and chair of the board following his passing. Non-profit, which advocates for conservative politics on American campuses, invited fans to celebrate Kirk, an American legend, and his remarkable life and enduring legacy. Kirk's death prompted fierce political debate on upholding free speech and the threat of political violence to American democracy. His suspected killer, Tyler Robinson, 22, Furry Figget, was taken into custody on September 12th and appeared in court for the first time by video link on September 17th. Robinson faces 7 charges, including aggravated murder, witnessing, and witness tampering. He did not enter a plea to any of the charges on Wednesday. Prosecutors are seeking death penalty based on the available evidence and circumstances and nature of the crime, they said in the court filing. Erica Kirk, giving a tearful address after her husband was killed, said, "You have no idea the fire..." I'm not going to go over that again. She basically forgave him, apparently. So, they should all know this. If you thought that my husband's mission was... okay. She was vowed to continue Charlie Kirk's mission. That's... yeah. There you have it. So, yeah, basically the same old, they said last time. Just the top half was new. Anyways, there we have it. And then Tech Exec plummets 2,000 feet. Rip. That's what happens when you do some extreme stuff, right? To his death off California mountain. Tech executive died after plummeting 2,000 feet to his death off a California mountain. Matthias Trevisano, 45, plunged off Mount Shasta in Siskiyou County, California, during a hike on September 12th. The Argentine, who was chairman of the tech firm Grandata, was killed as he attempted to descend the mountain by sliding down it using a risky technique known as gliding. Yeah, that's super dangerous, especially going down a very steep mountain like that. Trevizzano, was making his way down with two other hikers he met during his ascent when he hit a boulder. Oh, shit. Yeah, and was knocked unconscious. Yeah, that'll do it. They watched in horror as the executives slid 300 feet before one of them managed to get within 100 feet. Trevizzano briefly regained consciousness, but plunged for a second time over a ledge beyond the other hikers' reach. Fuck. That's rough. The California Highway Patrol helicopter unit recovered his body at an elevation of 10,200 feet at the base of the Winton Glacier, and the next day. The group went up the mountain using a Clear Creek Trail described as a non-technical route that is commonly used in the summer and fall. This is Matthias, that's him. However, on their way down, the group realized they had lost the trail and were stuck on an ice sheet on the northern tip of the Winton Glacier. Oh no. Misadventure. Misadventure leading to, unfortunately, death. Visibility also became limited due to clouds that moved in the afternoon, which may have contributed to knocking the hikers off course. Yeah, fucking hell, man. This is why you should place markers and shit. Make sure you're being safe as possible. Right. The Siskiyou County Sheriff's Office Search and Rescue Team, California Highway Patrol, Northern Air Operations, and the U.S. Forest Service Climbing Rangers were launched at around 2:30 p.m. But the time they reached Trevizzano, he was already passed away. Well, yeah. Authorities said the executive's death is the second this year on Mount Shasta. Last month, a 50-year-old man deceased after he was found at the bottom of a cliff with significant injuries. That doesn't sound good. Usually that means he took a tumble. Yeah. Even for experienced hikers, the mountain can be deadly. Well, yeah. Fucking hell, man. Extreme hiking a mountain, right? Hiking these fucking these mountains are not for the faint of heart. You need to be extra fucking careful. Jillian Elizabeth Webster. Also, the fact that you're right, the change in elevation too. If you're not accustomed to that, that will fuck with you. Two others full thousands of feet while tethered together. Webster died while two others were injured, and 6 other separate incidences occurred that same day. Jesus. Trevizzano served as the chairman of San Francisco-based Grandata, which creates products for artificial intelligence, data, and privacy. The company's website explains its business model in 3 simple steps: combining data, applying algorithms, and driving businesses. I mean, it's pretty simple, yeah. The company also has offices in Buenos Aires, and Mexico. There you have it. Unfortunate. Apparently he was doing a lot of technical stuff in San Francisco too. I don't know how big he was, but he must have been a part of the fucking Silicon Valley cabal, possibly. Here it is. Horrific moment. High school football player fractures rival's spine in senseless attack. Well, yes. Well, I mean, it is not even... this kid probably watched too much fucking, like, Madden, like, playing video game Madden and shit. Well, look what he did. A Michigan junior varsity high... Oh, man, this is varsity, too. And he did that kind of shit? I'm sorry. Like, even as a high schooler, they tell you, no, right, if you do unsportsmanlike conduct, they'll fucking smack you, right? So it's like, I don't know why this kid decided to do it. A Michigan junior varsity high school football player is out for the season after a horrific moment took place this... Oh. So he's not... is he gonna get fined? Like, what? Fractured the spine of an opponent in a senseless attack. Yeah, I mean, this kid could get sued for that shit. The shocking video occurred during the third quarter of a game between Lakeshore and Kalamazoo Central when a 15-year-old defender for the Lancers got tangled with an opponent. After the play went away from the individual matchup between the two, with the 15-year-old prone on the ground, the offensive lineman, yeah, that's what I thought, from Kalamazoo Central leaves his feet and lands with his full body weight on his rival. Full-on body slam, right? The boy's mother, Courtney Mims, told WSBT that her son, identified as Colton in Facebook comments, is out for the season with his spine fractured in 2 places. Mimes expects her son to make a full recovery, but it is unknown if the injury will force the teenager to stop playing football forever. Any discipline to the Kalamazoo Central player, both in the game and afterwards, are unknown. Yeah, I don't know, man. That was a foolish... that kid ruined... Jesus Christ. They fucking ruined each other's lives, literally. The tackle resembles a frog splash perfected by the late WWE legend Eddie Guerrero, or the after whistle barbaric moves. Yeah, NFL. Yeah, exactly. Moves as part of the NFL Blitz video game series. Yeah, in the NFL Blitz game, right after you can do some fucking crazy shit after the initial hit and touchdown and everything. These boys are high school boys. They're 15 years old. The game means a lot to them. It's their whole life right now. They're there from before I get up to go to work in the morning till after dinner. Putting in the work, and for somebody to try to take that from somebody doing so much is awful for me to see, Mims told the news station. The Michigan High School Athletic Association did not punish the student, leaving it up to the 2 schools to discuss the resolution. Okay, that's why. Mimes later revealed that Colton is on muscle relaxers after leaving the hospital. The team's varsity matchup on Friday went on as scheduled, with the Lancers winning 26-7. A Facebook post about the victory dedicated the win. This one was for Colton. There you have it. I like this rugby comment. Anyways. Yeah, in rugby, they're super fucking, right? You can't be doing it. Because you already, right, in rugby, you're already taking a fucking huge hit. And to do that, like, unsportsmanlike conduct after that. Dude, what are you fucking doing? You might get the right. Anyways, she was shot dead 2 days after her 21st birthday. Now murder of Miss Teen Beauty Queen linked to others. Uh-oh. Just 2 days before she was killed, former Miss Teen San Diego winner, Mimi, Barraza, had been celebrating her 21st birthday. Barraza was talking with a group of friends outside one of their homes in the early morning of September 4th, 1993, when a white Chevy Astro van pulled up and the occupant began shooting, so drive-by. San Diego police said Barraza, who was mother to a 2-year-old daughter, was struck in the head and killed. Police said the van sped away from 1600 South 39th Street and was found several hours later that morning on the intersection of 19th and G Street in San Diego. The vehicle had been reported stolen 1 day earlier. Police found casings from several different caliber weapons in the van, as well as the crime scene. Now, 32 years later, police believe the Beauty Queen's killing could have been part of a crime spree in which a dozen people were shot. Police told Daily Mail that around the same time as Barraza's killing, there were several other shootings using the same type of assault rifle. In one case, 16-year-old boy was shot dead and 9 people were wounded in National City, that is about 10 minutes from San Diego. So here's Mimi Barraza, deceased 4/1993, shot dead. Perpetrators used the same type of assault rifle as in Barraza's murder. Police say the suspect in all of the cases were believed to be Hispanic males, affiliated with a street gang from Logan Heights. Uh-oh. So we got a Mexican gang of some sort, well, Hispanic. You don't know, from Mexico or from Spain, or maybe could be from Venezuela. Who knows? They say Hispanic, so who knows? Benita, Latin America. Alright, the Latinxes. Barraza's mother told NBC San Diego, "Know something, see something, say something. Help us parents. Help the loved ones that need the justice for our family. For someone that you love." She also spoke fondly about her daughter, saying, "Beautiful smile, beautiful personality. Everything that she did with love." Perez took to Instagram earlier this month to mark her daughter's birthday and shared an emotional tribute. She posted a happy heavenly birthday to my beautiful daughter, Mimi. May all the angels sing and dance to celebrate your day. Today we love you and miss you very much. Love, Mamita and family. San Diego police said that anyone with information about Barraza's murder or the other cold cases should call their cold case unit. So yeah, so apparently there's been a shooting, well, in San Diego at least. There's a gang, apparently some gang violence happening, and they're still unable to capture the perpetrator. So basically, you got a crazy motherfucker running around still. There you have it. Hello, what do you got here?
All right, meanwhile, President Trump wants Bagram Air Base in Afghanistan returned to the U.S.
Well, I mean, it's not even just one crazy you're dealing with a gang, so it's probably like a group. Right.
Lucas Tomlinson is in
like
Washington
a group of 5, maybe more.
Details. Hey, Lucas.
Good morning, Charlie, Rachel, and Griff. President Trump issuing a new warning to the Taliban, promising harsh consequences if Afghanistan does not return Bagram Air Base to the U.S. military. The president posting this, quote, "If Afghanistan doesn't give Bagram Air Base back to those who built it, the United States of America, bad things are
Yeah,
going
he.
to happen.
Oh, that's what he wanted. He
Bagram
wanted
was
the
first built
airbase
by the
back.
Soviets back in the 50s. Later, it was expanded
Yeah, so
during the 1980s
basically, when
during
we
the
left
Soviet-Afghan War.
Afghanistan, right?
It wasn't
When we
until after
left,
9/11
they
that the
basically
base
took
came
over
into
the
the
airbase.
possession of the U.S. military,
That's
used as a
where
hub of
that's where we
operations
had
against the
the
Taliban
issue
and
with the
Al-Qaeda, of course. The base stood strong
the
for
service
decades
members
until it was
being
abandoned
deceased.
under the Biden administration when it was turned over
It
to
was
Afghan
at that
forces
airbase,
when the
I believe.
U.S. withdrew it secretly in the middle of the night back in 2021. And just a month later, it was captured by the Taliban on the same day Kabul fell. Now the president saying this about Bagram last night.
Mr. President, you mentioned in your remarks at the press conference something about Bagram and bringing it back to the
Bagram,
U.S.
I'd like to get Bagram back. And there was gross incompetence to give that up. You know, it's one of the most powerful bases in the world in terms of runway strength and length. The strength and length. You can land anything on there. You can land a planet on top of it.
It's not clear when U.S. forces could return to Afghanistan. And guys, I've been your backup anchor now for about 2 hours here in Washington. I've been getting paid to watch the show. Easiest money I've ever made, guys.
All right, Lucas Townsend doing a great job there.
Thank you, Lucas.
Super easy.
So this is pretty interesting and didn't see this coming, but there were many that argued way back during the disastrous withdrawal that this was a bad idea. The significance of Bagram Air Base so close to neighboring the neighborhood that it sits in. So the Washington Post, in an editorial, has this headline, and they write this: a U.S. return to Bagram isn't a bad idea. The abandoned airfield in Afghanistan was once a symbol of American power. Trump wants it back. And I think the thinking could be, I don't know, President Trump could have speak directly to it, is that it was strategic not only because ISIS-K continues to fight with the Taliban to this day, so we would have a presence there to lean into that, but also its proximity to China.
Yes, the proximity to China is an important point, right, Charlie?
Yeah, and I love that it still really makes President Trump really, really mad that all that money was lost when Joe Biden managed to create that catastrophe of a withdrawal.
Yeah, he still talks about the weapons and the vehicles. Some of those weapons, by the way, ending up in, being shipped off and used there in Afghanistan, but also sent to other.
Sold?
Yeah, sold to other, and that's ours. And President Trump was absolutely, disgusted with how that ended.
And rightly so.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews.
Be quiet. There you have it. Graveyard of Empires for. Everyone's talking Graveyard of Empires for a reason. Well, I mean, like that place has been in all those those people have been in fucking conflict for a while, especially with all the different religious ideas over there. And they want to stay basically a third world country, basically, over there.
Federal agents in California will soon no longer be allowed to wear a face mask under a new
not
law
even that,
signed by Governor Gavin
second world
Newsom
country.
Saturday. That's after agents in masks carried out immigration raids in the state, crackdowns
could
that
say
led to
it's
mass
between the
protests,
second
and the
and
White
third.
House bringing in the National Guard. The new law is set to take effect next year.
Hey, thanks for watching. And don't forget, you can catch the Today Show every morning on NBC or take Today when you're on the go. Just follow the Today podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen.
You be quiet. And then we got this pregnant mistress murder trial. Here's the verdict.
He's standing up. Let's go ahead and go in.
Back on the record, all parties are present. Hold off the jury. I'm told the jury has reached a verdict. Before we receive the verdict, particularly in this case, it's imperative that whoever remains here in the courtroom while we receive the verdict remains stoic and does not express himself or herself with joy or sadness or whatever it is, because there's a potential that the case continues, and that would be improperly influencing the case going on. So if you're here, make sure you can contain yourself and do not react whatsoever when the verdict comes in. If you cannot control yourself at this time, please leave, and someone else will tell you what happened. Is everyone clear on that? All right. Let's bring in the jury and we'll receive the verdict.
Apparently, the Las Vegas Strip was teen hacker. Oh. Just causing issues on the Vegas Strip.
Please hand the verdict form to the bailiff, who will hand it to me for review before it's published. The verdict is in proper form. The defendant shall remain standing while the verdict is published through the clerk.
We, the jury, find Jose Soto Escalera as to count 1, guilty of first-degree murder as charged in the indictment. If you find the defendant guilty as charged or guilty of any of the above lesser offenses, you must next determine if any of the following has been proven beyond a reasonable doubt. Check yes if proven beyond a reasonable doubt. Check no if not proven beyond a reasonable doubt. During the commission of the offense, the defendant did carry, display, use, threaten to use, or attempt to use any weapon. Yes. As for count 2, guilty of first-degree murder of an unborn child as charged in the indictment. So say we all. This 19th day of September, 2020.
Time in the making, 7 years.
Mr. Monte on the sheet here. Mr. Monte, this your verdict as well as the verdict of the jury as a whole?
Well, there you have it. Guilty verdict.
Escalera.
The verdict is in proper form. The defendant shall remain standing while the verdict is published through the clerk.
We, the jury, find Jose Soto Escalera as to count 1, guilty of first-degree murder as charged in the indictment.
Guilty.
If you find the defendant guilty as charged, or
Did you see his head nod? He was like, "No." As soon as it was read out, he's like, "Fuck."
any of the above lesser offenses,
Short
you must
circuited.
next determine if
Like
any
what?
of the following has been proven beyond a reasonable doubt. Check yes if proven beyond a reasonable doubt. Check no if not proven beyond a reasonable doubt. During the commission of the offense, the defendant did carry, display, use, threaten to use, or attempt to use any weapon. Yes. As for count 2, guilty of first-degree murder of an unborn child as charged in the indictment. So say we all. This 19th day of September, 2020.
And that's it. Yeah, yes on all accounts. He's done. First
Monte on
degree
the sheet
murder
here.
is
Mr.
basically
your verdict as well as
premeditated
the
murder
verdict of the jury as a whole.
Well, there you have it.
with the intention.
Guilty verdict.
right?
No real reaction from the defendant in that case, but this case was a long time in the making. 7 years ago, 23-year-old Tanya Wise and her unborn baby. She was 8.5 months pregnant with his baby.
Intentional,
With his baby.
yeah.
She was found face down in a
Premeditated
ditch.
and deliberate.
Now the jury just found him guilty of first-degree murder for the murder of Tanya Wise and their baby.
There you have it. He did the crime, apparently. Alright. And we will go over the last two, right? Google documents here. Sky Meadow Country Club victims' heroic final act to save family from Free Palestine killers. So here's the one I was talking about. We can look at that. Actually. Okay, let's actually look at the real post. Slain victim of Saturday's country club shooting in New Hampshire threw himself in front of his wife and daughter to save them from the deranged gunmen. His mother has revealed. Robert de Caesar, 59, was having dinner with his family in the Sky Meadow Country Club in Nashua when police say 23-year-old Hunter Nadio, who used to work at the facility, stormed in with a handgun. Nadeau kicked the door open, and Rob just went right for him and protected his family. De Cesar's mother, Evie O'Rourke, told WMUR. So this is him, I'm guessing. That's his wife. That's the mother. 2 more people were shot and wounded by Nadeau, while others were hurt as they fled the carnage, authorities said. More than 100 people were at Sky Meadow at the time, many for a wedding in space at the club next to its restaurant. Authorities said there is no known link between De Cesar and his killer, although they have not offered a motive for the attack. The bystander said Nadeau yelled "Free Palestine" during the shooting. De Cesar's mother said she still can't fathom that her son is dead. Oh, the son. Oh, the father and the son is dead. It's so shocking that we just can't believe it. We think everybody's lying. This can't have happened. They were. Oh no, I'm sorry. That's the mother talking about the son. Sorry. This can't be have happened. They were just enjoying a meal at their country club, and it comes to the guy shot the maitre d', and it was right in the front of him. And I guess he died right there. She said. His thought was to take care of his family and his daughter's getting married in 6 weeks, so it's going to be very tough, the victim's grieving mother said. We don't know any information more about it other than they have arrested Nadeau, but boy, is Robert going to be missed. He's just a great guy, she said. There you have it. Nadeau was detained at the scene. While authorities said they have no indication De Cesar was the suspect's target, a witness said that appeared to be the case, that he was going right for this person. I feel terrible for De Cesar, said the bystander. Bartleson to WMUR. Well, I mean, he was probably targeting him because De Cesar saw him immediately, right? For someone with a weapon, right, their immediate attention is the person who's going to stop them, right, who's trying to stop them first. So, yeah. Adding that the shooter yelled pro-Palestinian slogans during the shooting. Seen pictures show the aftermath of the shooting in the country club in New Hampshire. De Cesar had no known connection with this killer. He just came out and said the children are safe and free Palestine. Wait, what? What the fuck does that mean? Bartleson added. An SUV matching Nadeau's possible vehicle, a Toyota RAV4, was seen being towed away close to Sky Meadow on Saturday night. Nadeau has been charged with second-degree murder and is set to be arraigned Monday. There you have it. There's another Free Palestine wacko being a fucking maniac, as usual. And then we have man charged with shooting up Sacramento ABC station after Kimmel decision let go on bail. Only for FBI to swoop in. I knew that was going to happen. Right? You knew that was gonna happen. They were gonna fucking catch and release like usual, and that they fucking then the FBI was like, yeah, no, that's not gonna happen. Annabelle Hernandez Santana, 64, was arrested and charged after firing multiple shots into the ABC 10 KXTV television station building in Sacramento on Friday afternoon. Authorities say the shooting was a drive-by incident with at least 3 bullets hitting a lobby window of the occupied station. Thankfully, no one was injured during the shooting. Authorities responded around 1:30 p.m. after reports of shots fired. The suspect fled the scene but was identified and arrested early Saturday at his home. He was charged with shooting into an occupied building, assault with a deadly weapon, and negligent discharge of a firearm. Posted $200,000 bail and was released the same day while investigations continue into his motive. Wait, someone paid his bail? Holy shit. This shooting happened a day after protests outside the ABC station, triggered by ABC's indefinite suspension of Jimmy Kimmel's late-night show following controversial remarks about the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Police have not confirmed any connection between the shooting and the protest or show suspension. Tegna, the company owning ABC 10, confirmed the incident and said all employees are safe. They are cooperating fully with law enforcement and have increased security at the station. California Governor Gavin Newsom condemned the attack, calling violence against journalism an attack on democracy. Dude, shut the fuck up. Fuck you, Gavin Newsom. Dude, you're so fucking annoying. The FBI is assisting with the investigation, and the suspect is scheduled for a court appearance on September 23rd. Police are seeking any additional info from the public to clarify the circumstances of this shooting. I mean, I don't think you really need to clarify. The dude just did a drive-by shooting into a fucking into a goddamn news station. I mean, that's shady as fuck, isn't it? Anyways, there you have it. That is all of the new. Oh shit. I took myself off the screen. That is all the news. I will be posting, right? Everything will be in the description, right? So you can look them up and all the sources in the YouTubes. Anyways, there you have it. Have a good one.